And we are live.
And we are live. We're live.
Welcome on board. It's 11 a.m. here in Dublin, January 10th. How's it going, Bruce?
It is going amazing, really. Having a great time and going live every day with my brother David.
Yes, sir.
Our good friend Matt Dixon, and
Absolutely.
the other people that we bring on the show. It is really a pleasure to talk to you guys every morning or afternoon, depending on where you are watching. I talked to our producer as well yesterday. We had a very nice talk. We're live on Impact.tv, also SmartMoneyCulture.tv. We're live on local television stations in Houston, Texas, KVQT, Beaumont, KAOB, College Station, K20KJ, Corpus Christi, K33QP, and Lake Charles, Louisiana, K21 0B, I think 0B. So good stuff. The world is just absolutely it's crazy right now, and the fact that we can work together with people to try to figure our way forward and do the right thing to protect our finances here on Money in the Morning,
right,
is absolutely awesome. And of course, we're also live on Networks Manager on X. Big thanks to the man, the myth, the legend, Elon Musk.
Yeah, guy's been great. He's been great.
I mean, like unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God for Elon.
Do you think he hooks into his Neuralink on a regular basis?
I mean, who better to test it than the guy that's responsible for it at the moment, huh?
I mean, I would. I signed up to be a tester.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to be hooked up to AI before me.
I mean, there's pretty incredible abilities that are about to come out. Did they start testing yet? Not yet, huh? Well, I know they've been testing, but
I think the problem is that the monkeys keep dying. That's what I hear through the grapevine. No, I don't know if it's true or not. I think it is, but they, I think they figured it out. I don't think all the monkeys are dying now.
No, huh?
No. And I do think, I'm pretty sure he has it hooked up. He said he would wear it on when he was doing some press releases sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty intense.
It's intense.
to have access to the internet in your mind.
It's like what I always dreamed about.
Yeah.
It was funny when I was a kid. It was like I always wanted to have some device, something that had every answer I ever wanted to know.
Right.
And then along came Steve Jobs. Right? Steve Jobs. We got Apple.
Uh-huh.
We got our iPhone.
Yep.
Tells you everything you want to know.
Really does.
Whether you're supposed to know it or not.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. You can find all sorts of stuff on here.
Whether you're supposed to know it, and then even the stuff that they tell you all kinds of stuff. Did you see that one of the Google founders' wives was over on Epstein Island as well?
I didn't see that.
When are they going to come up with our names, David? Oh, man.
I've been to a few islands, but I haven't been to any of those islands.
I've been to a few islands, but I never went to that island. Mm-hmm. I have to say, though, that I'm sure a lot of these people just went to the island as like a fun trip. Let's go to the island. And they're like, oh, you went to the island? He was there?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm sure everybody wasn't over there. I mean, this is my that's how I look at it anyway. I don't think everybody was over there doing crazy things. I'm sure plenty of people went over there thinking it was the coolest trip ever.
Right.
And they were shielded from stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not like, yeah, man. I don't know.
It's probably a losing argument. Not popular belief. All right, everybody over there was doing bad stuff.
Yeah.
Hang them all by their toes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, we talked about something yesterday, and I thought it was pretty interesting as I started, of course, YouTube messaged in, and they said, hey, you mentioned the clot shot. And that's bad. We took the video down, and I had to appeal it because I'm like, look, we're not saying it's bad ever. I'm like, come on.
That's what that's about.
Pretty funny because YouTube's like, they don't really like give you, I'm like, I was going to write it. Hey, look, guys, like we weren't saying it was bad. It was part of something commenting that we were commenting on a video and it said the word. But I said, okay, I'm going to, try to appeal it. And they kind of immediately said, okay, fine. I mean, obviously that was simple, but pretty interesting. But one thing I thought about, and this has to do with a lot of the illegal immigration across the world. And we've talked about it before, is I bet they not only make a bond, the central bank, the Federal Reserve, which is a private entity, I bet that they not only make a bond for everybody that's born, I bet they make a bond for everybody that comes in the country.
Oh, yes. I do believe this is part of the process. And it's a money scheme. And, of course, they give them the voting rights. So it's a power play, too.
Huge power play, but that's one of the reasons why I think that the powers that be, the central bankers and everybody else, they really want all these people in here. It's one of the reasons, because they're able to mint this bond that they then are able to sell and trade and make money on for everybody that comes in.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they definitely have their value of how much this immigrant type person is going to spend in their tax, and they calculate how much that's worth in the future, and then they're able to bond it, insure it, and sell it on the bond market, on the stock market.
Sell it. Okay, Dow futures are flat, down a little bit, negative 25 points. The Dow yesterday, in general, was closed down 150 points. It spent most of the day down. The let's see here, the Asian markets. The Asian markets. How are we looking here? The Asian markets. Shanghai is down about a half point. The Nikkei is up 2 points. It's the Japanese stock exchange. Wow, it's pretty major. Shenzhen, down about half a point. No, it's kind of off the out and around. We got, let's see, currencies. The dollar is up pretty much across the board against the yen, and it's about flat on the Chinese yuan. Oil is flat. Natural gas is down almost 3 points. That is significant. Copper's up half a point. Mixed. It's a mixed day, as they say. It's a mixed day. Bitcoin, our favorite. Bitcoin. Of course, we had that funny tweet yesterday, right?
What's this? The ETF,
yes.
The SEC Twitter account got hacked. People are so funny.
People are funny. So Bitcoin, go ahead.
I didn't fall for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
it was on the official SEC account, and it had a picture of Gary Gensler. I was like, this guguy. I will say that. I was like, this guy really approved the ETF with the photo of himself? I mean, I love myself as much as the next guy. Trust me. I've done my fair share of posting my photo everywhere.
Yeah.
Of course, as you get older, you get over that a bit. Bitcoin is down a couple of points since that happened. So what happened? And of course, Matt will, I'm sure, weigh in a bit too. But they put out that post, and then it went up and then down, and it was like, I don't know, 5 minutes later. So I saw the post, and then I put it out. I mean, I was like on it. Post came through, or maybe 10 minutes or less later.
Right.
I'm bam. All right, it's approved, guys. We've made it to the big time. Let's drink champagne or whatever I said, something. And then our friend Garrett Kraus says, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "Oh wait, what's going on?" Picture. How is it happening?
Yeah. Yep. Too funny, man.
It is funny. So Bitcoin is very high, though, in my opinion. 45,604, 45,604. Now, and that, probably it's going to go a lot higher, but it's just crazy for me to look at when it's like that. XRP at 56. XRP is hanging around there in that range. It's been in that range, 50 to 60 for quite a while. Although it did drop down when we had that big plunge a week ago to 46.
Right.
46 cents. It wiped out all the longs, liquidated everybody.
Yep. Risky game there.
It is a risky game. Fun stuff. So that's XRP. And of course, that is, so let's look at Litecoin here. Of course, we had our friend yesterday on with the at cost metals. Litecoin is up 1.5. Litecoin is the right coin.
Yep.
The at cost metals is very interesting. We're going to start doing another show probably dedicated to that. That'll air on your local televisions that you're watching as well. I think around 12 noon.
Yeah.
Haven't totally coordinated that with David yet to make sure it's the time that works for you. David, what's going on with your background? You get in a car accident or something?
It was really cool. There was so much fog the other day, and the spider webs froze. And then I had 3 spider webs. It didn't actually fit in the picture, but I called it my Web 3 background. So they're frozen like extra thick. It was pretty cool.
Cool. Well, let's bring on Mr. Dixon, Matt Dixon, talk about our ETF.
Good morning. Morning, David. Morning, Bruce. Morning, America and the world.
How are you, Matt?
Yeah, I'm great, thank you. I was actually on that thing last night with the ETF. Had Bitcoin, holding some Bitcoin ready for it. I mean, I know I said there may be a bit of a dump, but I think, as David said yesterday, is even if it's a no, it's not necessarily actually a no. It's just a not yet. So right. I think it's inevitable. I think that we're going to get these ETFs. There've been many, many applications in there, and maybe it's not yet. Let's hope it is. As I say, we actually got a pump as soon as the news came out, the fake tweet. And I just looked before, about people who've been hit with these fake tweets. And, we know Obama, Bill Gates, you mentioned, Elon Musk, Kim Kardashian. These people have already been hit with fake tweets. So, it may or may not be, that it was, a fake tweet. Maybe Gary Gensler was playing games, who knows? But, every likelihood is, a lot of top people have been hit with fake tweets. So that pumped the price immediately. We can see, I'll just show you very briefly on the chart, I guess. It's actually quite interesting. We got a pump, so I was in the money straight away. I bought Bitcoin, but then unfortunately the news came out that it was just a fake tweet, and the price came down just about as quickly and dropped just a touch lower. So no big deal. If it does, if it is authorized, if we do get ETFs, the green light for ETFs, then it's going to be great news for, let's just see. It's going to be great news for Bitcoin, of course. So it's only Bitcoin initially that we're talking about. So here's the Bitcoin price. I trust you can see that. But
nope, not yet. I think you need to bring it.
You should be able to see it. Or you should have been able to see it.
There we go. Got it. Or now it's loading. I added it kind of manually. There we go. MD Trade. Make sure to follow Matt Dixon.
Yeah. So
Trade.
Yeah, really interesting things that we're doing. But this just a quick look at the Bitcoin chart here. We can see it's 45. The current price. This is the live price, 45,596. Last night it spiked to just a touch under 48,000. And we can see there just above, I did mention this yesterday, the 1.618, the golden ratio, the extension of the previous wave, is just a little bit higher than that at 50,000. So there's resistance all around that level. Now, if it were to break through, there's potential for much higher. But I do think that Bitcoin definitely, I mean, as we said, it's just, even if it's a no, it's just probably a not yet. So we're going to get Bitcoin ETF, and then following that, maybe in the first quarter, we get Ethereum, and then we get others following on. So I think this is really, really good for cryptocurrency. And if you look at things like, and I'll probably put another chart up, I'll just show this one. This is, sorry, not that one. Let me go on to the next one. That was actually, I'll go on to that one as well. I'll mention that being it just popped up. But this is stock to flow ratio. So this is basically looking at the total stock or availability of a particular asset and divided by the actual production of the asset or new production. So you can compare this, for example, this is Bitcoin, and it's been very, very predictive. This is created by Glassnode, who some of you may be aware, they look at the internal on the blockchain movement of cryptocurrency, so they can see what's really happening. And this is available to anybody to see. You can see for yourself on the blockchain. But it shows it's one of the most accurate way to predict price. And the reason it's very accurate is it's effectively showing the supply of the asset. And clearly Bitcoin is limited supply. And every time there's a halving in the asset, the price, so we got halving around here and price went up, halving around here, the price went up. We're going to get halving in 2020 and the price went up. And then we're going to get another halving come April next year. So what this does, it basically means halving. It means that the supply, the new supply coming onto the market is halved. So this has clearly an impact on the supply and demand of the asset. So it just means that, we've been talking over and over about the almost infinite money supply of fiat money and printing of dollars and euros and pounds and yen and whatever to try to stimulate the economy. Well, this isn't just an unlimited supply. In fact, the supply is diminishing. And this stock to flow ratio is a very good indicator of price, particularly for Bitcoin. But you can even compare stock to flow with other assets. So come the next halving, I understand that the stock to flow for Bitcoin will be higher than that for gold. And so this is a really positive indicator potentially for prices moving forward. So that's interesting in itself. I will just mention, as we I touched on this, I wasn't going to show this, but it's actually quite interesting. We're doing an upgrade in a week. We talked about eBay a little bit. eBay was born out of the 2008 financial crisis, where the ratings agencies were misrating assets, and it caused a misallocation of capital and caused the financial crash of 2008. And this is all the corruption of centralization. It's why Bitcoin was born. So this is why eBay was born. eBay was born out of that crisis, basically, that we wanted to build an unbiased system built on artificial intelligence. He mentioned that today. That's a field in itself, of course. But we've used artificial intelligence to rate crypto assets. And I'm going to run through this probably on a future show, just how amazing this is, looking at the underlying value of the assets, comparing them and this is genuine because it's using artificial intelligence. There's no bias. You can't pay us to rate your asset better. You can pay us by all means, but it won't make any difference to the rating of the asset. And then on the right-hand side, we've got basically an indication of whether that asset short-term is likely to go up or down. And we're again building on that method using AI, machine learning, and adaptive computing, some of these amazing new technologies. And this is going to transform, I believe eVay will transform the industry with what we're going to bring out. And we'll talk about that on future shows. So I won't go on about that too much. We'll just jump quickly back to the charts. I mean, that was Bitcoin, Litecoin, as you said, on this chart it's come down a little bit. And I do think that if the ETF gets the green light, as I say, it's going to have immediate impact on Bitcoin. It could even mean that we get flow of capital from other assets, other asset classes, but also other assets within the crypto world, possibly into Bitcoin. So we talk about the Bitcoin ratios with other assets, and it could actually increase. So Bitcoin could actually increase in value more than other assets at the moment. But as more and more assets come under that, get the green light for ETFs, then it means, as I said yesterday, that even financial advisors across the country will be able to recommend that people have some holding, and as they should do. Modern Portfolio states, Markovits, Nobel Prize winner Markovits, said you need to hold as many uncorrelated assets as possible within your portfolio to get the best risk-return ratio on your portfolio. So,
let's talk about that. I mean, what are some of the ways? I mean, so the ETF is good for. I mean, for the layperson out there, why is it good for cryptocurrency? Why is it so good for Bitcoin?
Well, if somebody launches an ETF, anybody who's investing in that ETF, they're holding a proportion of it in Bitcoin, or if it's a Bitcoin ETF, they're holding Bitcoin. They have to hold the real underlying asset. So it's not just these derivatives or anything of that sort, which don't mean the real asset. This is actually genuine real asset. So if they're marketing an ETF, and don't forget, we're not just talking about financial advisors passively just saying, oh, you should probably hold a bit of this. There's millions of dollars probably going to flow into advertising, which has never done that before. We're going to get institutional adoption. And as I say, they have to hold the real cryptocurrency, not some derivative, not a perpetual future or anything of that sort, which can pump price, but short term, but doesn't necessarily mean long term price appreciation. But here, you're mopping up supply because they have to hold the real asset. And we've already said that supply of cryptocurrency, in particular Bitcoin, is restricted and diminishing. And every time a halving happens, the actual new supply into the market is halving. So that supply is completely different to other assets. And if stock to flow gets better than gold, it means that even gold, with its limited supply, the amount you can dig out of the ground, there'll actually be a lesser supply of new Bitcoin coming as a percentage, as a ratio, than there is with gold. So it will become the real digital gold, and it has so many advantages over and above gold. Yes, gold is great to hold as another uncorrelated asset, and that the show you had yesterday showed how people can hold precious metals. That's fantastic. But I think as a portion of a portfolio, Bitcoin has a more important role to play because it has real liquidity that you can actually, you have immediate liquidity for the asset, transferability, fractionalization of the asset, that you can send it abroad, instantaneously almost. There's so many amazing attributes of Bitcoin, and it's just getting better and better as it becomes more and more under the regulated umbrella.
It is really interesting. I mean, that's part of the deal that I think, people that haven't done a whole lot with crypto, they may not understand the transferability of it. If you have gold, that's great. And if you have cash, that's great. And, you saw probably on the news yesterday, Russia and Iran are now settling without SWIFT. And SWIFT is the international system that we all use to wire money to each other, or that we used to use. Now we use crypto for the most part, right?
Yeah,
but that ability.
Yeah. Sorry, Bruce. I was going to say, XRP is the token which will enable very cheap, very cost effective, and very rapid international money transfers. And we've seen XRP, again, I've got the chart here, it's bouncing along this bottom support line. So potentially, and I've got the 10th marked in here, that's today. And I've had this marked in, well in advance. This is ETF day today. Now, although, we're not going to see an XRP ETF today, but if we do see a Bitcoin ETF, it's just a matter of time before other assets become regulated as ETFs. So XRP will come, and this is very important. So it doesn't just mean that there's going to be a massive jump in other assets today, but it's just good news. And maybe longer term, it's we're going to see some massive appreciation. But long term, this will take a lot of the volatility out of the market. So now is maybe an opportunity to get exposure to these assets. And long term, as the asset matures, it will become less and less volatile and become more and more important as a major holding by portfolio managers and fund managers around the world and in America, of course.
Major money is going to flow into that, and you can see even how they've really just taken such a long time to watch it and improve it. It really is something else. The tweet yesterday, it was really funny. So the SEC, on the official account of the SEC, comes out and says, all right, it's approved. We're going to do this ETF trading. And then, as we all know now, of course, it was Gary comes on a few minutes later and says that the account was hacked. X did confirm that the account was compromised.
Yeah. It was quite interesting to see the response. I mean, we did see an immediate pump in Bitcoin, not so much with other assets. So that's what I was just saying about potentially it's more positive for Bitcoin right now, but other assets will follow. So the next one in the queue would probably be Ethereum. Whether it happens today or whether it's next month, we don't know when it's going to be. But today is supposed to be a decision day. So it's just interesting to see the response that Bitcoin did pump substantially. So maybe that's a forerunner if the news does come out positively, maybe that's just a forerunner to show us exactly what's going to happen. But as I say, there is some solid resistance overhead, and we've had a big run on Bitcoin, from that 15,000 level around FTX time to 45,000. We're talking 3x there from that time. So a lot of people have jumped in, and a lot of it is on the back of this ETF, potential ETF news.
And that means a lot of people may be in a position where they want to take profits.
They will take profits, but bear in mind, they're going to take profits. But I'm personally probably not going to be taking profit, although the price will probably dip, with a bit of profit taking. But think about it. How many billions are on the sidelines waiting to come in? How much profit do people want to take? Yeah, clearly some people will. But I think the long-term players will recognize that there's actually billions on the sidelines. Possibly within the first few days, there could be, a couple of billion come in. And longer term, as I say, once it becomes a more stable, more mature asset, I think it would just be the done thing that you need to hold some Bitcoin within your portfolio. So, and again, we've got the things like the halving coming up, that supply halving. These fundamentals are just so important to the long-term growth of this asset.
It is pretty interesting. So today is supposed to be the day. It will be just so crazy if he does come out and approve it today.
Yeah, it'd be a bit of I mean, who knows? It could have been a purposeful leak or hack.
Oh, of course, absolutely. I mean, it would be right up the alley of what we see. And I mean, people call me conspiracy theorist or something like that. But I mean, we've seen some crazy things. It could be that. It could also be that they set the tweet, they set the post for the day, and it was supposed to come out, and then they messed up and they set it for the wrong day. You can do your time.
Somebody knows. It could even be that somebody knows we're going to get rejected today, and they put out this post just to lead people astray. So anything's on the table right now. So you just got to take a long-term view of this.
I know. With a long-term view, like you and like David has said, I think it is not a matter of yes or no. It's a matter of when. So it will happen. So awesome.
Yeah. And as I say, I do look forward and hope I'll be able to share more about what we're doing at eVay, but that will be in the near future. we're launching a portfolio building tool, which will be basically, I don't want to give too much detail ahead of time, but it will be an absolute game changer for the industry in terms of building your portfolio, how to invest in the best possible way to get the best returns. And there'll be back testing tools and strategy testing tools and just so much available there. It's going to be amazing. So I look forward to that show, hopefully.
I can't wait. We're big fans. That's evai.io. That's evai.io. Guys, check it out. We've done really well using these AI tools. There's multiple factors that they use in order to bring these things together. And if you watch, and I'm sure he'll go into a lot more of that stuff moving forward, but if you just watch when the asset changes, up or down, that initial change, you can really, we have anyway, done really well with that. So as many tools as you can get in your repertoire to help you, I think is a good thing.
Yeah, we actually have proven accuracy of upper 70%, 78%, somewhere around there on the predictive capacity. Now, if you think about the whole market, the market is the market. The market is actually 50% accurate because it is the market. And the market is basically, the benchmark is effectively the market. So you're 50% accurate with it. So if you get anything, 78% is absolutely amazing because it's way above the cost of transactions. So with good risk reward strategy, a factor of 78% means if you use the tool properly, it's just an amazing tool. And as I say, it's AI, so it's like a child. It learns, artificially intelligent learning. So it actually learns and gets better and better and more intelligent. So, this tool is going to get more and more powerful. And that's the worry, isn't it? I mean, maybe we have a show on discussing the potential risks of AI because, it's just amazing how powerful it can become when it takes into account all of the information that's available on the internet and on the blockchain, and able to use that to make decisions. That is actually quite scary.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, the AI is it's just crazy. And of course, I'm sure most of you guys probably saw some of the chatter, a little bit ago about OpenAI. And I mean, everybody, right, the whole place just like resigned, basically. And Elon, of course, put a magnifying glass on it. I mean, we really didn't figure out what's going on, but apparently the AI did something that wasn't expected.
Yeah,
and that's scary.
Actually, there's supposedly protections built in there, but you can actually easily circumvent these protections. So you can get the AI to do things it wasn't designed to do. The safeguards built in that you can actually circumvent the safeguards. So it just shows there needs to be some sort of controls of what it can do because it really is amazingly powerful. I mean, you think about when it started. It was started, I think, back in the 1950s, and it's been developed and developed. And I think it was in the late 1990s, wasn't it? Was it Garry Kasparov was the world chess champion, and he was actually beaten by, was it Deep Blue? I think it was at the time, the IBM computer using AI. But it was a very, very sort of early stage of AI.
Yep.
And think about that. That was nearly 30 years ago now. And just imagine the technology how it's advanced, the computing with the way that's massively advanced, and then the AI itself. So it's so much more powerful now. And, you can bet that the military, you're always talking about the military, I'm sure they have the most powerful AI tools available. And we don't even have an inkling yet of how powerful it potentially can be.
There's no doubt about it. It's scary stuff. I think that, I'm on record quite a few times of saying that, transhumanism, and that's something that's scary for everybody, but transhumanism is the future of humanity. We're all going to be interfused with the technology that we make. And there's going to be some people that are probably living a really long time as we do that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt it can fix a lot of problems, but we need to use it. All these tools can be used to our advantage or to our disadvantage. I mean, even nuclear power has some tremendous advantages. All this thing about how dangerous nuclear power is. Well, actually, it's one of the safest technologies. It's far better than coal and oil in terms of safety, and yet it's just got this bad press. But nuclear power, again, can be used for good or for bad. Same with all technologies, powerful technologies, and probably AI is more powerful than all of these things. We think of a nuclear bomb and explosion, so on, how horrendous that can be, which of course it can. But AI potentially has the power to enslave the human race if we don't control it properly.
It's true. It is absolutely correct, and it's scary. Admittedly, it's scary. So, and that's why you see guys like Elon kind of leading the charge, and of course, then we have the administration here, and they say, "Okay, we're gonna do some stuff," and then he kind of rolls his eyes. But I think that the problem is there's such a disconnect in between the people that really know what they're doing in AI and our friends here in Washington that it's hard to regulate something that you don't understand.
Yeah, well, obviously, your friends in Washington allegedly have other interests, and it's not necessarily the good of everybody or the advancement of technology. It's about how much money can we make out of this, and so that's
they're making a lot.
That's why
they're
we have
making a lot.
Yeah,
What's
that's why I got Bitcoin and blockchain, because of centralization. Centralization has been the cause of every problem throughout the whole of history. Centralization of power, that is the cause of every issue. Every war that's ever happened really is to do with centralization. So it's important that we continue to push down this centralization road. We don't allow them to take back control with CBDCs or whatever, or at least we need to understand what's happening, at least.
Indeed. Well, it's a monetary revolution, guys. I've been talking about it for a long time. This is a peaceful revolution. It's the way that we can take power back. Because right now we have no way really of taking power back. I mean, we have an election every few years, every couple of years, actually, we have an election. We have a presidential election every 4 years. We're still on these magic electronic machines. We're still doing the mail-in ballots. It's hard to see how we're going to have any different result here in a few months. We have, it's just crazy. And I know it's the same in the UK. It's just absolutely, it's absolutely crazy. And then, of course, we have stuff going on over in Latin America. I'm sure you saw Ecuador and everything. But anyhow,
maybe we should have an AI president in the future.
Elon might be the first AI president hooked into Neuralink. I mean, that's the thing about hooking into this AI. Like, yeah, sure, it's scary or whatnot, but what are you going to do? You're going to have people around the world that are hooked into the AI, and you're not going to be.
Yeah, I mean,
how can you compete?
Yeah, I mean, I say that jokingly, but maybe that is a way forward. As long as there's proper protections put in place, that there is potentially no bias. That's why we built eBay, so we can get rid of all the bias and corruption within financial institutions and give a proper, accurate rating of assets. And again, if we had safeguards built in, maybe it is a good way forward, that we're not trusting on potentially biased, potentially corrupt politicians who effectively, as we know, usually have to lie to get voted in.
Yep.
Big debate, but it's interesting stuff.
Big debate. Well, thank you so much, Matt. Always a pleasure, sir.
Yeah. Let me know what you want to look at. As I say, I look at individual assets. I look at anything you want me to look at.
Okay.
Let me know ahead of time.
And yeah, that goes for everybody watching as well. You can message us on X. MD Trade is Matt. David is Sir David Porter. I'm Networks Manager. And then let us know if you want if you want Matt to chart something specific. Make sure to go to eve.io and check it out.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Lovely. Thank you. Pleasure. And look
See you in the
forward to
morning.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you, Matt.
Well, there you have it.
Yep.
ETF is going to send everything to the moon.
It surely is. It surely is.
I think it surely is. That's why they're holding off. It's probably why they crashed the market on purpose.
Yeah, right.
I'm not saying they crashed the market on purpose, but they might have crashed the market on purpose.
Easily could have.
Easily could have. I mean, 2% is not really crash, but
Sure feels like it.
It sure feels like it. Well, you have the cascading event, right? When Bitcoin moves 2%, the alts sometimes will move 10%.
Exactly.
And so people feel it.
Exactly.
They feel what's going on. We talk a bit about the monetary revolution. We talk about how we're able to take power back from these people, and how the centralization of power has been the downfall of countries and nations throughout history.
Yeah, that was.
And we have a centralization of power in the world right now. In the world, we have a centralization of power. Centralization is not good. We want decentralization. We want people to be accountable. We want governments to be accountable. If AI is going to come in and really take over so much stuff, we want AI to be accountable.
Right.
How are we going to have anything accountable if it's centralized?
Yeah, we're going to have to punish AI somehow if they act out of line.
Careful. She's listening. You know how you know that AI is a woman?
How?
She thinks she knows everything. I'm kidding. But no, that's what I asked. I asked ChatGPT. I told her. I said, "Well, I think you're a woman." No, I'm whatever. Pretty interesting though with ChatGPT and some of the other ones. Of course, you can have them code for you as well.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
You just really kind of have to ask them the right way.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
One way I found was if you asked to code, it's just she would say no. But if you were going to code it, how would it look?
Yeah.
Then, boom! She codes for you.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's one of my tricks. Now she'll probably stop doing it.
It's not gonna fall for your trick.
It's not gonna fall for my trick. So a little bit of more news here. Of course, we have the mess over in Ecuador.
What's going on in Ecuador?
So apparently the cartel is trying to take over the government.
The cartel is very legitimate, the last decade.
I don't know that much about it. The cartel, I feel like you have two cartels, in my opinion. You have the one official one that's called the government. And then you have the other crooks or whatever. And it's all, it's all which one's in power.
Yeah.
So we have here. It's crooks either way. But anyway, they have I guess they arrested they came in and they shot up the place, and that is ongoing.
Oh wow.
But they've rescued some of the guys now. CES 2024 is happening right now. That is a great show. Some of our colleagues are down there, and we were gonna go, but it's a rough time for me. And I know it's a long trip for you, but it's a rough time for me to get to CES. Always this time in January. It's always kind of around the same time. You have it's early in the year, and then as well, of course, you have historically these conferences coming up, crypto conferences coming up in later January, as well as the World Economic Forum going on, which I know those guys are bad, but everybody wants to be there.
Everybody wants to be there. Everybody's gonna be looking for big news coming out of there.
Everyone's going to be looking for the big news coming out of there. Gaza is just getting leveled. It's like if you look at these like before and after pictures, it's just really something. It's really something. What they're doing over there. It's Lebanon, of course, is just really steaming up. I think Lebanon, and Matt's talked about it a bit. I think that Lebanon has the potential to really take this into a larger regional conflict. The Houthis launched a barrage of missiles and drones, and they were all stopped by our ships.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, it's funny, right?
The technology that we have is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It really is. The technology that we have is absolutely it's astounding. The UK is against the global ban on white phosphorus. So those of you that don't know, white phosphorus is it's a banned weapon that you're not supposed to use. And I know war is like war, right? It's all out war, but there are rules to war, and we're supposed to follow those rules. I'm supposed to take care of the prisoners and this and that. You're not supposed to use certain weapons. One of them is the white phosphorus. So it's kind of interesting that they're doing that. It is a horrible weapon. Guys will just shoot themselves rather than have it kill them. It comes in as gas and it'll just eat away at everything. It's a horrible weapon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Epstein again going crazy. We touched off on that bit about that. I think, like I said, poor everybody that did end up going there if they didn't do anything wrong, because you are on the naughty list, guys. You are on the naughty list. Not good. More CES. Cars of the future there at CES. Apparently in Ecuador, they have grenades from Peru. That's a big thing. Oh, this is a big story here. Poland. Did you hear about what's going on in Poland? So in Poland, they've arrested some of the conservative politicians. Now, very interesting situation that we have in Poland. So Poland has historically not allowed a lot of immigration, and that's immigration from all around the world, from Africa, we're talking from Jewish population, Muslim population, African, like whatever. There's just not a big population going on there. And now, of course, the big push is to get them to take everybody. And now we're really starting to see this stuff go down. So it says the Polish police have arrested MPs Kaminski and Wasik at the presidential palace in Warsaw following their conviction of abuse of power. Supporters of the MP staged a huge protest outside the police station demanding their release. The president has been reportedly sheltering the politicians after their convictions inside the palace. That's big news. That's big. Yeah. Most people
out of line.
It sounds really out of line. I don't know enough about it. I will say that abuse of power is very thrown around these days. Abuse of power. Everybody's abusing the power. Depends on which side you're on, I guess. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see it unfold. Because, you take out a few conservatives. It's like here in the U.S., here in Washington, of course, we're on TV in Texas and we're streaming around the world. But here in Washington, they got rid of the GOP guy in Congress. And now we have a few guys leaving. And all of a sudden, the slim majority is not even so slim anymore. I'm not even sure it's a majority. Very small majority, we would say.
Uh-huh.
But the balance of power can swing with these things. Do you remember the box, the hologram box?
Oh, yes. Yeah,
So that's
pretty cool.
That's at CES too.
Nice.
I did talk to our friends over at the Atomic Wallet Komodo.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm going to have them come in. They're going to come on. We're going to show you how to buy crypto.
Awesome.
Without an account, without an email, without a phone number, nothing. You will need a credit card.
Nice.
Yeah. Komodo wallet, atomicdex.io. Komodo wallet. You can Google it. You can buy Boosty on there. You can buy some Global Boost BSTY, just like Bitcoin and Litecoin. You can't seize it. You can't freeze it. You can't stop it.
And that's why you should use it.
And that's why you should use it. Malay is going to, they're ready. Argentina is ready to send forces to Ecuador.
Really?
Ecuador's heating up. Wow. Blinken is in Israel, Secretary of State, who many feel like is becoming more and more like the commander-in-chief. He is there in Israel now. From what appearances, he's lobbying for a Palestinian state. But this is all posturing. I mean, who knows if that's really what he's going for or not.
Right.
Yes.
Lobby.
Yeah, crazy times, crazy stuff we have going on. I think that the important thing is, guys, you want to diversify. You saw yesterday we had At Cost Metals. At Cost Metals is I'm pretty excited about it.
Right.
Already we getting people to getting people signed up. It's a club. You sign up. It's like $149 or $3.99, depending on what you get. You get some silver coins with that, and then you get At Cost Metals. So you can buy gold, you can buy silver, you can buy different precious metals at cost, which is pretty interesting. You can go to atcostmetals.club. You have to poke around there. That takes you right to the referral link. Clubs with an S. Clubs is our referral, and we'll help you build it too, because that is a unique program. Super excited about it. We sat down with our friend there, the founder, yesterday, and that was pretty interesting. We direct line, of course, to the founder, and we're going to work. I think we're going to help a lot of people with that. You need gold, you need silver, you need precious metals, you need cash, and you need crypto. I mean, you need these things at times like this. You need these things. You see the dollar gaining right now against other. It's gaining against other currencies. It's not gaining on Bitcoin. Blinken has quite a background. His father got him that job. I don't know. Probably. Which one? The commander-in-chief or Secretary of State? No, kidding. Well, he does seem to have a lot vested at the moment. Make sure, guys, if you're on LinkedIn, to join us on LinkedIn as well. Right, we're currently streaming on my LinkedIn account, Bruce Porter Jr. Pretty decent account over there, about 18,000 people, and we have some good viewership. We're also streaming on Instagram on my Instagram, which is at Modeling Agent. We used to do a lot of model staffing back in the day. So that's an old historic one. It's pretty crazy. I think that the crypto market is going to continue to grow. I think the gold, the silver, these things are going to continue to grow. They are going to keep printing the money in order for these things to happen. They have to. They have really no choice. There's no way out of this except to keep printing the money.
Crypto will end up being one of the wallets that everybody has. While some people might not have this bank or use that bank, it'll be more easy to transfer your friends some funds just using crypto. Everybody will have crypto attached to some of their apps.
Well, that's a really good point. Everybody's going to have crypto, right? That's going to be the common denominator.
Yeah.
And there's still many people that are unbanked and they can't get a bank account. We're talking about people in the world, they don't even have a birth certificate.
Right.
Of course, we don't care about that in the US. You can just show up at our border and you're fine.
Yeah, we'll make a bond for you, insure it, and do everything nice.
And we'll even give you some money, a place to live. So we're a couple of weeks out from the Iowa caucus.
Oh.
I think that everyone kind of thinks Trump has it locked in. What do you think?
Well, of course he does, but I just saw you now. I don't know if it's for the Iowa caucus, but for the presidential election, you can print your own ballot now. I don't know if it's a fact.
Fact. You can print your own ballot.
Oh man, what are
and in
we
a bunch
doing?
of states, you don't have to be a citizen. Like, it's actually legal.
Now that is someone stealing your country.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, right? That's what it's called.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Craziness. So yeah, of course. And then I see here Nikki Haley within single digits of Trump in New Hampshire's latest poll, and of course this polling is funny.
Yeah,
but I mean, right. Nikki Haley. I mean, come on. Talk about one of the most unpopular.
She won't even talk. She won't even have a conversation with any newscaster, journalist, or anybody.
I mean, she's pretty much very unliked.
But I wanted to like her.
You just wanted something else, huh? No, I mean, she's she's not very likable. She comes out, she's pretty much a warmonger. She wants to fight everybody, and she doesn't think we should have any rights, basically.
Well, there's the line right there, right?
And that's the line right there. But Nikki Haley. So yeah, I think that he will. Now the Iowa caucus, these caucuses, though, they are interesting the way they do them, and they have all these funny rules. So it will be interesting to see. Of course, he was here in Washington yesterday, arguing that he had immunity from being prosecuted. They really, really, really do not want Donald Trump on the ballots. Really bad.
Everybody's going to write his name in.
I know. It's funny. So I was in Texas. You couldn't find anybody that wasn't supporting President Trump.
Exactly.
Even the minorities had Trump shirts on.
Well, isn't that funny how now they're open about it?
Right? People aren't stupid.
Pretty much everybody's open to, let's get Trump back in office.
People like money. People like prosperity. They want safety. They want safety. They want prosperity. They want to be able to have a family, and they want to be able to pass it on to future generations. It's another thing we got to stop this craziness. Tax like 30 or 40% of your stuff you leave your family. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
They do that just so that you can't have a legacy.
Yeah, they're stealing your properties.
They're stealing your properties.
It's been a great show, Bruce. Thanks for having us on. Thanks for bringing everything together.
You got it. We'll do it again tomorrow morning. Hopefully I'll have the Komodo guys lined up. We'll do some other stuff. Follow us on X @Networks Manager, @Sir David Porter. Matthew Dixon is MD Trade. See you tomorrow.
Thanks.
Your voice is powerful. When combined with social engagement, it's a force for change. Decentralized media paired with free speech is the catalyst for an empowered world and a unified, invaluable ecosystem. Join Global Boost, become a champion of free speech, and help to reshape the future of media.